So today I'll be talking about how to properly label a graph, because when many students make these graphs, they forget many components, which leads to them losing marks as well, and that's never great. And sometimes when they forget these labels, it's hard for the reader to understand what the graph is about or what it's trying to tell us, sometimes making us miss the key and important information. So here's a template per se about a graph and how it should look most of the time. And so this is an example of a bar graph that I'm going to take. And so at the top you have your title, and one example could be the most or the favorite sports teams at Meadowville Elementary School. And so you can see you have your x-axis label and your y-axis label. And on your x-axis you will have various different sports played at Meadowville Elementary School. So soccer, basketball, lacrosse, baseball, and so many other sports. And at those red marks, you would indicate your sport or each sport that you are going to make a category for. And your y-axis label will have numerical values, so numbers in jumping up by 2 or 1s or 4s or a multiple you're adding each time, indicating that this is how many students play this exact sports. And at the red markings, you will put your numerical value or your sports or whatever category that you choose for that specific graphs. And these components are very important because if the x-axis label or the labels are just not there, it's hard for someone to tell what is being stated. So I'm going to be using a specific example. So favorite ice cream at Meadowville Elementary School, let's say. So at your x-axis you have your flavors. And so as you can see, the red markings, it really shows the flavors. So the flavors I chose were chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. So I have each marking for each flavor, and on my y-axis I have the number of students liking those flavors, and so I have my numerical values. I said previously that there can be multiples of something, and in this case I chose multiples of 1, so I go by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we start with the first flavor of how many students like the flavor, which is chocolate. So in this case I have 5, so I go up to my 5 category, and I stop there, and I color in and shade in everything in my 5, and I did this with the green, and I'm just trying to show you this is how it would look. For my vanilla, 3 students enjoy the flavor of vanilla, so I colored it until 3, and notice that I'm in my green shading, of course not right now, I colored it fairly well, and it's covering the exact box, and I'm not going in and out, and the reader can evidently tell that 5 students like chocolate, and the vanilla, the reader can evidently tell that the student likes 3 flavors of chocolate. Sorry, vanilla. Also, we have the last category, which is strawberries. So we can tell that the reader can tell that it stops at level 6, and so there are 6 students who like the flavor strawberry, and I'm just going to color that in. Please do a better job on your test or whatever, on your sheets. As you can see, my work is not as great, but let's fix that. And so this is the way that your graph should essentially look, with all your values stated, all of your labels stated, making it very easy for you and your teacher and everyone looking at your beautiful graph. And usually when you get a graph, sometimes you may get really specific questions. So pertaining to this graph, you might get a question such as, which flavor was most popular at Meadowville Elementary School? For this question, essentially, you might get confused between the amount of students for chocolate and the amount of students for strawberry. In order to help you get the most information out of your own graph, a good thing that I do is that above my bar, so for chocolate, I look at its value. So I look at the 5 students like it, so I put the number 5 above my bar. Over here I see that 3 students like it, so I put 3 above my bar. And over here 6 students like it, so I put 6 above my bar, making it very easy for when I see my graph and want to answer my questions as well. So an exemplar question may be, uh, which flavor was extremely popular. And so in this case, I will not get confused between chocolate and strawberry because the bars are really close together. I know that I put my values there and I can see 6 is higher than 5, knowing that strawberry is the most popular flavor. What is my least favorite? What is Meadowville's least favorite flavor? As you can see by stating the values clearly, vanilla is the least favorite. Sometimes you may also get questions such as, um, how many more people liked chocolate than vanilla? And these questions, you will see that, it is very common to get the values mixed up. So looking at your values at the top of your bars, you know that 5 people liked chocolate and 3 people liked vanilla. So 5 minus 3 is 2, so 2 more people like chocolate than vanilla. Therefore, answering these types of questions and looking at the detail that your graph gives you, a very precise detail that too, it's very easy for you to answer these questions and for everyone and the readers to understand what is happening throughout your graph. And so this is a perfect label of your own bar graph, making it easier for everyone. And that's it for me. Thank you.